Gottlob Frege, known for being the father of analytic philosophy and for having a cool name, wrote a work called Sense and Reference. The purpose of sense and reference is to answer the following question. How do we articulate the difference between what the phrase A equals A communicates and what the phrase A equals B communicates? On the surface, it may look like A equals A and A equals B communicate the same idea, but that's because we're looking at it through a mathematical lens. In reality, A equals A and A equals B are communicating something slightly different. The phrase A equals A does not communicate any new information, whereas the phrase A equals B does communicate new information. So let me show you an example of this. Let's suppose you've been friends with a guy named Peter, and I tell you, my friend is my friend. That does not give you any new information. Whereas if I were to say, my friend is Peter, all of a sudden, wait a second, I'm friends with your friend. And so that has given you new information. In Sense and Reference, Gottlob Frege was able to solve this linguistic conundrum and was able to show that it was really just a misunderstanding because people would look at A equals A and A equals B and assume that they have the same linguistic meaning because of the mathematical lens in which people would look at the problem. However, A equals A and A equals B do communicate differently. Gottlob Frege also offers us a sort of paradigm for how to look at these problems. He comes up with these terms, reference and sense. Imagine a house. The front of the house is painted yellow, and the back of the house looks totally different and is painted red. So if I were to walk by the front of the house and see the yellow part, I would think, oh, there was a yellow house. You could walk behind the house and see the red part, and you could think, oh, that's a red house. Those are two different senses of the same reference. The reference is the thing itself. It's the whole thing. Whereas a sense is a sort of fragmented perspective of that thing. So I could talk to you and say, hey, I saw a yellow house. You could talk to me. You could say you saw a red house. And we will have two different senses, and we may not understand that it's part of the same reference, part of that one whole. But if we were able to look at the house as a whole and see it from every side, then we could say, oh, those two senses were really one reference. With the Peter example that we were talking about before, you had the sense of my friend, and you had your sense of Peter. And then you found out they were both two different senses of the same reference. They were two different perceptions of the same thing. Creating those terms sense and reference allow linguists to talk more fluently about this particular subject.